It is Monday, September 15th, and the FBI confirming over 20 additional people are now under investigation for having possible prior knowledge of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Kash Patel explaining exactly what they know so far, that the intent component was there in advance, that the target, Charlie, was announced in advance. Unfreaking believable. Kirk's assassination proving to be a turning point in this country, no pun intended, supercharging TPUSA, and all the people who celebrated, promoted what happened to him, finding out this morning that actions have consequences, thousands fired from their jobs. We'll show you, and more stories as well from around the country.
Going back to the group chats real quick, there's more than 20 individuals, but this is a great point. I want to lay out how this works. People think we can just get in these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. We, the FBI, are the investigatory body supporting multiple prosecutions and ongoing investigations, and that's another point. Our investigation at the FBI is ongoing.
FBI Director Kash Patel confirming this morning that DNA evidence collected on the assassin's rifle matches Tyler Robinson, who he says also left a note, that Tyler Robinson wrote a note about his plan before carrying it out, and that other people were aware of this plan. Kash telling Fox News this morning, I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody. Then adding that it was both a note and a text message exchange, but that he tried destroying it, deleting it, before investigators could actually have a copy, but they were successful in recovering it, saying, what we're learning in this case is shocking, Kash says, and that there's more than 20 individuals who may have been in the know about this plan, that authorities are aggressively investigating this, and the co-conspirators will be questioned. Watch what he said.
Going back to the group chats real quick, there's more than 20 individuals, but this is a great point. I want to lay out how this works. People think we can just get in these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. We, the FBI, are the investigatory body supporting multiple prosecutions and ongoing investigations, and that's another point. Our investigation at the FBI is ongoing. And there are scores of people in this Discord chat room. But we have to effectuate legal process. We have to go out there with search warrants so that if prosecutors want to later use this evidence, it's not tainted by being illegally obtained. We, the FBI, are running the investigation pointedly on the Discord chat group. There are scores of individuals that are going to be spoken to. There are also lots of family members and friends that have already been spoken to. And one more point on forensics. We were able to obtain in record time the text message chain between the suspect and his live-in partner, as well as other critical cellular information from our CAS team that analyzes cell phone data towers in the area to pinpoint the locations of the suspect and other individuals he was speaking with. This is critical information that the FBI processed and got to prosecutors so they can lawfully use it in a court of law. And our investigation, our interviews continue, but we've learned some shocking things when we spoke to his family and friends as well.
Kash Patel saying it's not his job as FBI director to communicate the motive to the public, but instead to communicate the facts, then going down the litany of evidence that points to what Tyler Robinson's motive really was, saying his family said he subscribed to left-wing ideology, that he inscribed Antifa-like language on the bullet casings and everything else. Deputy Director Dan Bongino adding that the Bureau is really disturbed by the fact that this plan was communicated. The intent component was there in advance, he says. The target announced in advance prior. Did they know and not say? Did they say it, hear it, and think it was some kind of joke? Dan promising that we're going to get this out to the public as soon as possible. Roll the tape.
Kash Patel said earlier today that he expressed to someone that he had an opportunity to take out the killer and was going to do it. Did that person do anything with that information?
Yeah, that's what we're really disturbed about. It appears that this was communicated. You see this a lot, Bill, when in targeted violence cases, assassinations, school shootings, where the individual expresses in advance in a good swath of these cases his desire or her desire to do these specific things. That appears to be the case here as well, where the intent component was there in advance, and the target was announced in advance prior. Now, that's the part we want to know. Did they know and not say? Now, Bill, you have to keep in mind, and I don't want anyone to jump to conclusions on this. Did they say it, hear it, and think it was some kind of a joke? That's what we're trying to find out now. But I promise you, if there's a larger network here, we're going to get that out to the public as soon as we can.
The Epoch Times reporting yesterday on Sunday that Robinson has now been moved to a special watch area in the jail facility. Charlie Kirk's wife, or widow rather, delivering a powerful speech on Friday saying, if you thought Charlie's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you've just unleashed across this country. And it looks like she's right. This may have proven to be a real turning point in this country. No pun intended. First, watch this short clip from Erica Kirk's speech. Then we'll look at the reaction, the overwhelming, massive, positive reaction since this happened. Watch.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
And it looks like she's right, folks. Charlie Kirk's producer, Andrew Colvett, dropping these insane numbers on what Charlie's death has kickstarted in terms of new interest in TPUSA. Everyone thought, what's going to happen to Turning Point? Turning Point plays such a massive role in the conservative movement, in the Republican Party. They played a huge role in the Trump campaign's ground game last election, telling CNN just moments ago that the assassin thought he could silence a movement, but instead it has ignited a revolution, and these numbers prove it, he says. Watch.
At this point, we're over 37,000 inquiries just through our website, TPUSA.com, saying, I want to get involved and start a chapter. And to put that in perspective, right now we have 900 college chapters, official college chapters, and 1,200 high school chapters, and about 3,500 total. So 37,000 is enormous. And so it has galvanized the country because I think people are sending these clips around, and Charlie spoke from a place of such integrity and just of what he believed and what he stood for, that it just hits so hard. And I've said that to other people. I said, you know, two people could say the same thing, Pamela, and for some reason Charlie's would go further, and it's because there's something in it. The integrity of who he was and what he believed and what he stood for, and his faith in Jesus was so powerful that it would just echo and spread, and that's what made his voice so powerful. And you're seeing that now with how people are so moved by it that they just can't do anything but try and get involved in some way. And we've been just inundated with people saying, hey, I run this kind of company, can I help? It's totally free. Hey, I do this, can this be helpful to you? And then the students are devastated. We're getting so many of those testimonials, and they want to see Charlie's legacy live on through Turning Point USA.
And yes, there's a lot of ugliness and hate in this moment, but there's good as well. The woke, radical left-wing element that decided to celebrate, promote Charlie's murder, finding out actions have consequences. You can make videos saying whatever you want, but people may not like it. Now, showing up to work, these people this morning, learning they have been fired, terminated from their jobs. It turns out employers don't want employees who celebrate the execution of an innocent man. Left-wing media seeing this, reporting on it, and now coming to the aid of these people, calling it an overcorrection, calling it limiting Americans' free speech. Really? Watch.
I think that this push for mass firings could become quite significant, and it already is. I mean, compared to the aftermath of January 6th, this does seem to be turning into a very aggressive attempt to purge not just, government officials or in the Hegseth example in the Defense Department, but also specifically people who work in education, who work in healthcare, who work in government. Those are the fields that a lot of these right-wing figures have been mentioning over and over again when talking about how just random internet users have responded to this shooting.
So wait, what are they doing? Are they scouring social media? Is that what they're doing? Or getting hearsay? Somebody said something? I mean,
so there's one website called Charlie's Murderers that's gotten a huge following on on Twitter, and they basically have assembled over, the last count I saw was like 40,000 different examples of just, essentially a grassroots, people giving screenshots, names, professions. So it's already getting a little bit out of hand.
All right.
Let me know if you agree with them. Is this an overcorrection? Should these people, the extreme left-wing people who openly celebrated, posted videos of themselves cheering Charlie's murder, should they be fired? Is this the opposite of free speech? Or is this rational? Is this a rational thing for these companies to do? Business owners spend a lot of time building a culture within their company, hiring the right people. If this was your business, would you want to be working next to someone in your office like this who secretly or now publicly is happy that an innocent person was executed in front of his family, in front of his young children? Do you want to work next to that person? Do you want that person employed by your business? I sure as hell wouldn't. Let me know what you think about this. Personally, I find it rich how the left loves to say they're on the right side of history. They always say that. How in the world can you claim that you're on the right side of history when your side is openly celebrating, promoting the murder, the execution of an innocent person? It's crazy. Vice President J.D. Vance hosting the Charlie Kirk show this morning, speaking to Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, who pledged the Trump administration will be going nuclear on these violent radical leftist groups in Charlie's honor. Watch what Stephen Miller just said.
Walk me through at a high level, like what you and I have been working on, what the whole administration has been working on to try to make sure that we don't reward and promote this craziness.
Yes, so it's an excellent question. I said this before, but it bears repeating. The last message that Charlie sent me was, I think it was just the day before we lost him, which is that we need to have an organized strategy to go after the left-wing organizations that are promoting violence in this country. And I will write those words onto my heart and I will carry them out. If people ask me, what emotions I'm feeling right now, this is something people say, you kind of know the answer. There's incredible sadness, but there's incredible anger. And the thing about anger is that unfocused anger or blind rage is not a productive emotion.
Right.
But focused anger, righteous anger, directed for a just cause is one of the most important agents of change in human history.
Charlie showed that. Amen.
And we are going to channel all of the anger that we have over the organized campaign that led to this assassination to uproot and dismantle these terrorist networks. So let me explain a little bit what that means. So,
we've got 30 seconds, so be quick, Stephen.
The organized doxing campaigns, the organized riots, the organized street violence, the organized campaigns of dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses, combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger and incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence, it is a vast domestic terror movement. And with God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks and make America safe again for the American people. It will happen, and we will do it in Charlie's name.
We reported a few days ago that there's a crackdown underway already on these left-wing NGOs, left-wing groups as well, the billionaires who are funding these forever protests and riots throughout the country. President Trump confirming over the weekend that investigations have already begun, that there are people, specific people, already under investigation. Watch.
We have to be careful. When we attack people, we have to be careful.
You mentioned Charlie Kirk, sir. What organizations on the left do you anticipate investigating? We talked about this last week.
Well, the problem is on the left. If you look at the problem is on the left. It's not on the right, like some people like to say on the right. The problem we have is on the left. And when you look at the agitators, you look at the scum that speaks so badly of our country, the American flag burnings all over the place, that's the left, that's not the right.
Plan on investigating.
We'll see. We'll be announcing. They're already under investigation. You know, they're already under major investigation. A lot of the people that you would traditionally say are on the left.
They're already under investigation?
Already under investigation.
Have you asked to start revoking the visas of those who have celebrated Charlie Kirk's death? Have you asked to start revoking the visas of the foreigners who have celebrated Charlie Kirk's death?
No, we haven't, but we are looking at names. We don't like that. That's not right. We wouldn't celebrate if something happened on their side, and we don't. These are sick people. These are really deranged people.
Any progress on the Fed chairman, sir?
Well, other than I don't like him.
No, but
he's incompetent. The Fed chairman.
Now, who is he referring to? Is it the Soroses? Is it Bill Gates, etc.? We don't know, but we do know that the media is very nervous. Democrats are very nervous. This morning, multiple prominent Democrats announcing they are canceling public speaking events due to security concerns. Are these genuine concerns, or are they trying to make it appear that there's a both sides problem? Both sidesing this problem, saying that, the political violence in this country is coming from both sides, not primarily one side or the other. The media all weekend long has been trying to paint President Trump as the problem, like always, but watch how they're doing it this time. Watch.
A turning point. I've seen from many saying that it should be expected to start from the leaders. It should be expected to start from a president of the United States to move forward and bring that temperature down. If he is not going to, what do you do with it? What do you do about it?
Well, what do you all do with it? You keep putting it out. If you all truly wanted this to change in the media, at CNN and other places, your editorial board would say, we're not gonna put this stuff out, but yet you continue to put it out, and that continues to stir the base. Man, we had a hearing last week on UFOs.
I'm creating a conversation, and I have been, and I take pride in the fact that we do bring the temperature down on this program, and I'm definitely redoubling efforts to do that now by playing the words of the president in order to bring about conversation with an elected member of Congress. That's not trying to stir, that's trying to have conversation. And that's trying to ask you what you thought about it, rather than have you come back and attack me about it.
Well, ma'am, I'm not attacking you. I'm just letting you know that you all need to look within at CNN if you want to continue down this path, because clearly your ratings show that, and the conservative movement is showing that they're not watching you because of that. If you all truly had some objective reporting instead of constantly attacking conservatives and Republicans, then there would be a change, I think. But there's not going to be a change. You all don't want to change down deep. Maybe you do, ma'am, but I dare say that the vast majority of your colleagues do not. They do not come from the conservative spectrum. They see this as just as a Republican type situation, and it is absolutely not. You're seeing as much or more on the left than you are from the right, and this is just down that same road once again. And it proves my point that this will never change.
Yeah, but making broad brush statements about any group of people or vast generalizations when you are not involved in any internal discussions in this network or any other network is also not moving the ball forward in a positive way. Congressman, thank you for your time. John.
Speaks volumes.
Tim Burchett, luckily not having it, telling the truth, pushing back that there is a difference. It's been 5 days so far since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and we haven't seen any riots, no violent protests, no Tesla dealers being firebombed. I mean, there's a difference. There is a difference. This is the time to not let them both sides of the argument, folks. If they succeed in doing that, nothing's going to change. There needs to be a reckoning, an acknowledgement, at least an acknowledgement that one side has gone too far. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think, though. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.